Hey Void, how you doing? Now this is another movie that would fit into my current 31 Days of Horror run that I'm working through, but nope, this is another one from my backlog. I was at one point trying to fill in some of these movies that were related to other movies I had reviewed. Like if I did a sequel, I was trying to go back and review some of the ones that came before it. Didn't get very far into that because I keep getting distracted, but there were a few, and this is one of them. Since way back in my first set of reviews, I reviewed Three from Hell, like 4 years ago now. And I kind of give it a middling review, but that's because I really enjoyed the movies that came before it a lot more. I'm still particularly fond of The Devil's Rejects, which I did watch. It's on my queue, or it's in my backlog. I'll get to it at some point. But we're starting off with House of a Thousand Corpses, which is essentially Texas Chainsaw Massacre by way of Rob Zombie. Really the best way to put it. Well, more maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 by way of Rob Zombie. So, that's really effectively you could go into for the plot for it. I mean, sure, there's not so much chainsawing going on, but it's kind of a very similar feel. This was Rob Zombie's first film, and it definitely attracted my attention, particularly with the wild characters that it has in it. The movie's got a lot going that does work. The first time I saw it, though, it kind of got to me for just being disturbing. Didn't quite get that as much on repeated viewings, but overall, yeah. So, it's pretty much two couples are going on a road trip, and as they're going, they're pretty much going into all the tourist traps along the way. And one they bump into is essentially the murder ride at Captain Spaulding's Museum of the Weird and Fried Chicken establishment. So, they go on his murder tour. I will just hold to say that Sid Haig is utterly brilliant in both this one and Devil's Rejects. His small role in Three from Hell was nice, and he was definitely good to see him. But since he was on the verge of dying at that point, it was kind of hard to watch. But in this one, he is giving it so much, and I still quote him all the time from both this one and the next one. So Sid Haig is as Captain Spaulding is amazing. Anyway, he tells them the legend of Dr. Satan, which is pretty much your local murderer, boogeyman, what have you. And there's a tree where he was hung from, and these guys, being into this sort of thing, want to go see the tree. Well, as they do, they pick up a hitchhiker on the way. And again, Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe. They pick up then Baby, played by Sherry Moon Zombie, though I think she was only Sherry Moon at the time of this. And she offers to show them where it is because it's on the way to her house if they give her a ride. Well, the car gets stuck, they have to get towed to her house, and it's Halloween night, and, well, they're kind of stuck in this house, and things are a little strange. Particularly as, well, they are essentially a murder-cannibal family that does a lot of terrible things to a lot of people. They've already abducted a group of cheerleaders and proceeded to torture them to death, and pretty much goes about doing that to these four people. And yeah, away we go into the House of Horrors, and it is all very out there. All the characters are so wildly over the top. I also got to give a shout out to Otis, played by Bill Moseley. He is chewing every scene he is in, and beautifully so. So, also, pretty much all the characters are just they are great. The antagonists are so colorful and fun that they really do make this movie worth seeing. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is good, particularly the second one, and having some characters to get behind, but these ones just crank that up to 11. It's very quotable, and this movie does have like some weird insert shots, which are done almost like pseudo snuff film, pseudo music video style, which kind of give the movie a little bit of its own flair. I know a lot was actually cut out of this, and I don't know if a lot of the footage exists, because this would have been like an X-rated film if it hadn't, X or NC-17 if it hadn't, so it did manage to finally squeak by an R, but apparently they had to cut a lot of the more disturbing content. Considering how much is left, is like, wow. But, I will say the menus in the DVD are actually hosted by the characters, which it's a gimmick, but I'd always, I appreciate when they go the extra mile, where Sid Haig pretty much just yelling at you to pick a goddamn option. It's satisfying. Alright, the gore is over the top, outlandish, but that's kind of what you want from a movie like this. I know I'm kind of gushing, but I can't really rate this as highly as like I just did Ghostbusters. This one's definitely not for everyone, and if you get squeamish at movies, this one has a high probability of being a little... It might get to you a little. For MacGuffins, I'm a big fan of this one, but I do like Devil's Rejects more. For me, I give it 7 MacGuffins. It is still very derivative of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it does have enough of its own flavor that I think it's worth watching itself. I do recommend it, but it's one of those movies I don't recommend to everyone. If you're into this kind of thing, you might dig it. Alright, I think that's all on this one. See you soon, boy.